Hello, my name is Alejandro. This is my submission for this week's discussion. Our task for this week was to discuss some of the reasons for Asian migration to the United States and how this material can be relevant to some of the discourse we see nowadays in family migration, in Asians' family migration, that is. And then we were to connect specific insights shared in our required meetings for from Lee, and how that pertains to chapter 2 that we were reading earlier this week. So, for one of my reasons that I picked for why there was a large influx in Asian migration in the United States, I believe a large part of that was due to the secret war in Laos and in the Vietnam War around the 1960s, 1970s. A large amount of families were fleeing from their countries for fear of political violence and war, so they sought asylum here in the United States. And as Lee 2020, page 8, had shown, this is relevant because not all Asian Americans had come to the U.S. as an economic decision. This is a contrast to, say, like the gold rush back in the 1840s, where a large amount of Japanese immigrants had migrated to the U.S. For a better life to make more money. Um, uh, in Lee 2020, page 23, shows us that many of Asian American families had arrived as refugees. With this brought a lot of trauma from their previous countries, and that definitely plays a role in family discourse nowadays. A lot of the times that generational discourse can be passed down to the kids, and they carry that on within their generations. Um, but this also has diversifications of Asian American pathways, like Chapter 2 was focusing on. And Lee, again, reinforces this in page 4 by distinguishing the first and second wave Hmong refugees, kind of shows that not every single migration from Asian Americans was the same type, or they had the same type of problems were migrating here too. So that little distinction, I think, was Hmong survivors was the term that was used in that reading to show that the Hmong people that had moved there didn't really have any national sovereignty. They fled there for better life, and I didn't have access to official refugee camps like in other parts of history where Asian Americans had migrated to here, say like in the 1940s during World War II, when we had Japanese American immigrants who had migrated here for similar reasons. And that is my submission for this week's discussion. Thank you.